This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great to have you joining me here in these online lessons. This is lesson 11 in this series that is all about jazz guitar, and I love jazz guitar, as you know. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at a new technique or a new note we can add into what we've been doing with improvisation. So far in the course, we've worked a lot with the major 6 arpeggio, 2 different forms for that chord that we can use. One with the lowest root on the 6th string, one with the lowest root on the 5th string. They overlap with the shell voicings that we've been playing. We've done the same thing with the dominant 7th chord. So we've got those arpeggio shapes, one with the lowest root on the 6th string, one with the lowest root on the 5th string, which also overlap with the shell voicings that we've been working on. So in this lesson, we're going to look at adding the 9th or major 2nd above the root into our improvisation. This is a great note to add. And as a matter of fact, when we do add this note to our arpeggios, it actually becomes a major pentatonic scale when we add it to the major 6th arpeggio, and a dominant 7th pentatonic scale when we add it to our dominant 7th arpeggios. And it's just a great note. We can use it in so many ways. In the early eras, even in Charlie Christian's playing, sometimes you'll hear the note, the 9th, treated sort of as a second, a step that can happen between that root and the 3rd, but also as sort of a chord tone of the 9th, an upper extension. And as we continue in the course later on, we're going to be adding those 9ths and 13ths and 11ths, what we call the upper extensions of the chord. We're going to be adding those on top of our shell voicings, so that's something to come later on. But in this lesson here, we're going to work on adding this 9th or major 2nd into our improvisation. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. So I have the shapes up here on the board. Everything that was traditionally part of the arpeggios that we've been working on is there, but then with the little star is where we're adding this new note, and so we're going to be playing with this one. Super great color. Let's start with the major one, and I just went ahead and called it the major pentatonic. The major pentatonic scale has the root, 2, 3, 5, 6, and root again is where it starts over. Now, if you've done a lot with minor pentatonic scales, or even major pentatonic, if you've done major pentatonic, you're going to recognize this. If you've done minor pentatonics and you've done the 5 different forms of the minor pentatonic, you're going to recognize this as well, because for every minor pentatonic, there's a major pentatonic with the same notes. And so that's something that'll be explained later on more. Right here, we're just working on these shapes. So we're adding in these notes here. So let's play through this, and I've got it up here on the board, but I'm just going to play through it in C, and you can get used to it. I'm going 2, 4, with my fingers being numbered index 1, middle 2, ring 3, and pinky 4. My middle's on that 8th fret for C. I've got 2, 4, and then 1, 4, and 1, 4, and then 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4 up on top, and then I just come back down. So this could very well be very familiar to you, or it might be completely brand new. Now, as we've done with the arpeggios, I like to take them through chromatically along the neck. So work through this shape as much as you need to, and then let's go ahead. I'm going to, right here in the video, just going to go ahead and work through these chromatically a little bit faster. So starting on G, middle finger's on that 3rd fret. You go 1 and 2, and here we go. Slide up and take it just slightly faster. And up to A a little bit faster. up to B flat. And up to B. Up to C. C sharp. And D. And of course we could continue higher, but that's the general range that we're going to use this in, so I think we're good there. Okay, let's take a look at the fifth string form now. I got over there on the right side of the board. Same thing with this one, the little asterisk or star shape shows us where we're adding that major second or major ninth into what we've been doing is just the major sixth arpeggio. With this one also, you'll notice on the bottom string I've got two notes here. Anything that we do on the top string, we can also do on the bottom string with this fifth string form. We haven't been going down that low. We're usually soloing on the top strings anyway, so we haven't even bothered with it. But in this lesson I wanted to point out that that's there. Plus, if you're finding a connection with the major pentatonic shapes or the minor pentatonic shapes, then having the whole thing drawn on there, you're going to see that overlap between those 5 pentatonic form shapes, which we'll actually be working on later way more in the course, but I put that up here in case that connection's there for you. So I'm going to go ahead and play this on C. Middle finger is on that 3rd fret of the 5th string, and I would go 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2. And you can practice that as much as you need to. I'm going to point out here that because we have those low notes, we haven't done this sort of thing before, but we can continue down 2, 4, or 4, 2, sorry, and then come back up. So if I played all the notes in this positional area, starting on that root, I could go all the way up, back down, all the way to the lowest note that's in the position, and then back to the root, just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and do that. It's great practice for us here. And we'll go up chromatically as well, starting there on C, and we can go all the way up to about the 10th fret, so probably up to G at the 10th fret. So go ready and 2, 4. Slide up a fret, and up a fret, one more, and again, and we'll go up to F. F sharp or G flat. Up to G. And we're good. good there. And of course you could go higher, but that's kind of our practical range for most of the time. Okay, so once we've done that, like we did with the arpeggios, we want to go through and do the circle of fours. And I've got that up here on the board, but I was hoping by now it's probably starting to become, hopefully it's becoming ingrained. So I've got it up here if you need to take a screenshot, but I'm just going to walk us through it together. We'll move from C to F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G, B. And when I said G up here, it was G flat, by the way. So we'll take this form, then that form, and we go starting with that middle finger on C at the 8th fret. I do want to say too, I've been fingering all of these, index, middle, ring, pinky, because I can. But just like we sort of shifted around when playing the arpeggio, it's okay to do that as well with this. So sometimes I will shift 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3 on those higher ones, because that just is sometimes how the melodies finger much easier. So it's okay to work it that way. Work it both ways if you want to get your pinky so it's getting in shape. You can use it on top too sometimes when we're fingering things. One option works better than the other, so it's good to practice both. Whatever one you want to do at the moment is just great. So starting on that C, we go ready and do F off the next string, so we go ready and B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, slide up to G flat, that 9th fret on that 5th string, we go ready and we'll do B, and E, and A, and D, and G, and back to C, okay, so that sort of thing hopefully kind of got you inside of adding that extra note. Just like we do with the arpeggios, you can do the same types of exercises to practice getting inside of this shape a little bit more, starting on that higher root, for example, instead of where we were starting on the lowest root, since we do most of our improvising on those top 4 strings. So you can do that sort of thing. Here, now in this lesson, I've got a backing track for us that'll go around the circle of 4s. So We're just going to play through it, give us 8 bars per chord. This one's going to be just a little bit faster than what we did with the arpeggios. Hopefully you're starting to get comfortable with it. And so this one's at 121 beats per minute. And this is also now available for you in the Jazz Jam Along tracks, or the backing track playlist on the Academy series here on YouTube. So you can go in there and play along with it anytime you'd like to, or play along with me right here on this lesson. Down in the description below, there's also a link where you can find the backing track as its own video, so you've got that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just try improvising, adding this extra note into it. 8 bars per chord as we go around the circle of force, and the way that we were just going around the circle of force. It's gonna be awesome. We'll hear and 4 and in the snare drum, and we'll be in right there in the key of C at that 8th fret, the root at that 8th fret on the 6th string. Okay, so I hope that was super fun for you. Got some new ideas flowing. Again, that backing track is available. There is a link in the description below, or you can look under the playlist for the Jazz Jam Along backing tracks that's on the channel, and you can find all the backing tracks for this series. Every time there's one that comes out with one of these lessons, it will be available to find there. So really cool. Now, The next step is to learn adding this ninth to the dominant seventh arpeggio, which is a dominant seventh pentatonic scale. That's probably not very familiar to you, but we're going to go ahead and do that in the next lesson. It's going to be super cool. Same kind of thing that we did this lesson. Have fun with adding this ninth in, or this major second here. We'll go ahead and grab that in the next lesson, and then as we continue in the course, we're going to learn some other things that we can add to the improv as well. Get into more tunes, more chords, lots of great things to come. So keep at it, have fun, take care, and we'll see you again. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.